Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zain, and I'm coming on to bring a message concerning Malcolm Jamal Warner. Many of you have questions in regards to the paternity of the child. Now, I wasn't going to touch on this subject initially because I figured, if Malcolm Jamal had formed a relationship with his daughter and had claimed her as such, then that is his daughter, right? But because of the message that I did yesterday, there was some energy that came through the cards to indicate that there was an affair or some deception concerning, romantically on the wife's part here. So today I'm following up to tap in to see what does she know concerning her daughter. Is there any secrets that she kept from Malcolm concerning paternity? Obviously, this is all for educational and entertainment purposes only. Okay, nothing that comes through here is factual information per se. Let's jump right in. So, what does the wife know pertaining to the paternity of Malcolm Jamal's child, or the child that she may have shared with him? So, I have pathway is in the reverse. Okay, so she might have taken the wrong path at some point during her conception here. Let me see. So then I have high honor is in the reverse. So she might not have been honorable. She might have feared that because of the wrong path that she took, that she would have lost, he might have lost respect for her. Let's see. Concern in the reverse. She didn't want him concerned here. I'm going to be clarifying these cards. Let me take one more. Concerning the paternity of the daughter that Malcolm Jamal claimed as his with the wife. What does she know? Courtship is in the reverse. Bottom of the deck is thief. Okay. There could have been a time where they was not dealing directly with the courtship in the reverse, that she might have taken a different pathway, and she was concerned or afraid that he would lose respect for her with the high honor in the reverse. So she didn't want him overthinking the situation, but there was some deception without a doubt here. There's a picture of a child here that's pickpocketing this man, and this woman is standing over here as the perfect distraction. So it's almost like, not saying that the daughter had negative intentions towards her father, but that she may have been used as a pawn or as the wife's, I don't want to say tool, okay, but as the person that would be able to get closest to Malcolm so that she will be able to gain access to his wealth. That's the best way that I could say it. Let me clarify these cards here. What deck do I want to use? So far it's not looking good. If I had to base it just off of these cards right here, there was definitely some deception concerning the child. Conception. I was about to say conception. There was deception concerning the conception. Let's see. So I'm going to clarify, starting with pathway in the reverse. What does that mean? Breakup. See, I'm telling you, there was some form of a separation. They might have broken up. They might have been at odds with one another when this happened. Walking away, separation, end. Okay? Let's clarify high honor in the reverse. So she took a different path it's almost like she went backwards. Yeah, because it's giving me the Eight of Cups in the reverse with this pathway in the reverse. It's like she went backwards. She might have went back to somebody from her past as a, what do you call it? A rebound. She might have rebounded to someone that she had already broken up with, somebody from her past here, during her separation with Malcolm. And there was some intimacy is what I'm picking up here. Let me clarify high honor in the reverse. Sorry. I am sorry. The unspoken apology. Eternal regret. Wow. High honor in the reverse. I was already saying that she feared that he would lose respect for her. He would not honor her. He wouldn't place her on a pedestal anymore. She would lose her position even in, the circle that Malcolm ran in. So this is the unspoken apology. So no, she never made this clear to him. I don't even think Malcolm really had. I'll tap in and see if he knew before he passed, but it's definitely given this energy of no spoken apology. And it just so happens to be a tombstone here. Okay. Oof. Let's see. So concern in the reverse. So she didn't want him concerned. Let's clarify concern in the reverse. Okay, addiction. Man. Drugs, alcohol, obsession, toxic attachments. So it doesn't necessarily mean that this person would have had addictions. This would be the male energy. I feel like this would have been Malcolm's energy. She didn't want him to be concerned or thinking too hard about this situation. So with it coming out in the reverse, maybe she felt like he had a form of an addiction to her, some sort of attachment to her. She wanted it to stay that way, to keep him, with his heads in the clouds here. She didn't want to lose that favor that he had for her, even though they were separated. In her mind, she felt he would always come back. That's what I'm picking up here. So she kept this hush hush at least as long as she could. Let's just see. So courtship is in a reverse. Let's see, what does this mean? The sun is in a reverse. Yeah, it's almost like she tried to make an excuse, like you wasn't there for me, you wasn't comforting me, we wasn't close at the time. That's how she felt. So in a sense, it's almost like she validated her infidelity because of the lack of closeness between herself and Malcolm. So she gave herself 1,000,001 excuses as to why what she did was okay. So let's look at thief. And also consider when the sun comes out in the reverse, it gives moon energy. And the moon for me is illusions. It's things that are hidden. Okay. Things that are behind the veil. It's also the card of fear. I feel like she was afraid to tell him because she knew that this connection would be over. All right. What is the thief? As I said before, this thief card is a picture of a man and a woman, but the child is here pickpocketing the man. So it's like there's the energy of using the child as a pawn to get what you want, because the child is innocent and he may not pay as much attention to the wife and her ill intentions because he's more focused on the innocence of the child. But let's just see, what is thief? It gave me 2 cards here. So I have uninvited guest, surprise, accident, big change, moment of decision. Oh my goodness. And then the other one says threats, but it's in the reverse. Money, life, violence, privacy. So this thief is clarified by an uninvited guest. Somebody showed up. Okay, I feel like a very toxic energy returned to this woman's life here. And this person might have even had some clarity about this child here. They might have worked together and decided to use the child as the like I said, is the pawn in order for herself and this person that she used as a rebound, that maybe is even the father of this child, to manipulate Malcolm out of his money. Now, the threats coming out in the reverse, somebody was coming in cloaked, like they wasn't a threat to this relationship. So this person was cloaked here, but it's like they just showed up uninvited. I need some more about this uninvited guest. Uninvited guest. Okay, so the card says too risky. Oh, y'all see what that is? It's a person that's surfing out in the water. Whoever this uninvited guest is, it says you feel like it's not worth the risk, but opening your heart is a risk worth taking. So this person decided to take a risk here to show back up in Malcolm Jamal's life, or he could have literally showed up in Malcolm's life, but he came cloaking himself, okay? There was a lot of illusions surrounding his energy and his intentions, okay? Why is this water standing out? We got to tap in and see what's going on with this water. I don't think if this man showed up, Malcolm did not know that he had a connection with his wife. It's like they just showed up out of nowhere. But remember, this is being clarified by the thief. So somebody was strategizing, being very deceptive here, thinking that they could sneak in and get away with something here, but they was definitely connected to this wife directly. And we're still talking about the child here. So this could be the actual father of the child. Let me clarify too risky, because this person came in knowing that it was risky. Whatever they was, up to in terms of stealing, being a thief, they knew it was a risk, but it was a risk that they was willing to take. Because remember, this says big change, moment of decision. So this person made a judgment call. They decided that, okay, they was going to show up because they had a plan. So oh my gosh, y'all look at this. Do y'all not see what that is? Okay. So this says too hard. You believe that it has to be hard, but it doesn't. Let love flow naturally in your life. Now, this was in the reverse. It was too hard. This person knew that they could not just come in and be a father to this child, because Malcolm was, damn, why did I just hear Malcolm in the Middle? Isn't that a show? Malcolm in the Middle? Malcolm in the Middle. Okay. Okay. I don't know if there's any relevance there. If this person could have been an actor themselves. Anyways, all right. So too hard. You believe that it has to be hard, but it doesn't. Let love flow naturally in your life. But Malcolm was in the middle of this situation. So this person could not really be close to this child here. So they just showed up, knowing that it was risky. I want to see what is the risk that they was willing to take here. I think I'm using the wrong deck. What's the risk that this person was willing to take by showing up? Oof. Wisdom, foresight, perception. They was coming in trying to gain some information. Here's what I'm picking up. Yeah. Whistleblower, betrayal, report, expose, leak. It's like they came in trying to gather as much information as possible to try to use as a backup plan, knowing that this situation was risky. What the secret that they held was risky concerning this child. They This person that showed up, this male, I'm really picking up a male's energy that was connected to the wife, knew that it was risky. They showed up out of nowhere. They tried to gather as much information as possible so that they could use it as collateral later, just in case something didn't pan out because it was so risky. Let me clarify whistleblower. Miss you. Wait, eager, miss. You know, I'm picking up that whoever this male is that showed up, they definitely cloaked themselves in a way where maybe they acted like they didn't know the wife at all, right? Their objective was to get close to Malcolm and to gather as much information as possible, because apparently they didn't need to gather information from the wife directly. Because if they wanted to blackmail the wife, they already had something to work with, whether it was the fact that she did have an affair during their separation, or they could have used, that potentially the child wasn't theirs. So this wasn't them trying to gather information about the wife. This was them showing up cloaked as if they did not know the wife, with an attempt to get close to Michael to gather as much information as possible so that if their plan did not work, they could betray him and threaten to expose him to protect themselves or to protect whatever they was trying to steal from him. Let me see. So the card that popped out is letting go in the reverse. Because it's talking about being open, surrendering. So letting go in a reverse is like holding on. I feel like, let me see. Runaway is in a reverse. It's almost like they was trying to get Malcolm out of the picture, but maybe to get him to let go of the wife, but also trying to find ways to blackmail him. So maybe even trying to set him up in something here with this miss you card. I don't know, trying to get him to see if he will go back to somebody from his past, or to gather some form of evidence to use as collateral later. But Malcolm was still in the picture here because the runaway card is in the reverse. So he did not fully give up on the connection in the way that this person was hoping for, okay? Let me see. So, deep thinking, remember, solving puzzles, cold word. Yeah, they couldn't get the information because cold word is in the reverse. Solving puzzles is in the reverse. I feel like Malcolm was kind of confused about this person that showed up here. He couldn't quite figure out what their intentions were. He might have felt that something was off about this person's energy, but I feel like the male that showed up out of nowhere was also very confused. He couldn't figure out how to really get to Malcolm. Not being you. See, Malcolm felt that this person was wearing a mask here. What else came out? Getting hurt. Something bit me. I don't know if that was a mosquito or what. All love comes with a risk of losing it. Don't be afraid to floss. Take a chance. Not being you says you're trying to project a perfect image, but it's not really you. Be yourself. Yeah, I feel like Malcolm knew this. Whoever this person was, they was being fake. So Malcolm was protecting his energy from this male that just showed up out of nowhere. Let me see what else. Okay, yes. The other question is, what knowledge did Malcolm have concerning his daughter? Did he have speculation? Did his intuition tell him that she wasn't his daughter? What was his perception? Obviously, because they're saying that she was on the trip with Malcolm. So his last day here was with him being around his daughter. So it wasn't enough for him to withdraw from her or to not have a relationship with her. But let's just see, did he have any knowledge of her potentially not being his daughter. He definitely was suspicious of this guy that popped up out of nowhere, though. He was suspicious of him. He knew that this person was being kind of phony, like trying to come off like they was perfect or like they had this clean image, but he felt something was off. So he was not willing to risk everything and to just completely open up to this person. So he kind of remained a mystery. He remained a mystery to a large degree. But this person that showed up that was connected to the wife also was gathering evidence against Malcolm in hopes to use it against him later. So let me just see. What were Malcolm's thoughts concerning his daughter's paternity or relationship to him prior to his transition? Greed. He sensed that there was some greed here. It's like he sensed that even if it was his daughter, he knew that the mother was greedy. He knew that. Maybe that he started thinking, okay, she only had my child because she wanted my money. But greed was at the forefront of his mind here because that card came out before. Let me see. What was he thinking about his connection to his daughter and the paternity? Did he question it? Keep getting too many cards. Did he question it? Honor. Okay, so he still honored his position, his relationship. Let me see. Loss of control. Reckless derailment, speeding. I feel like he still gave her a certain level of honor. Because remember the card earlier from a different deck said high honor, but it was in a reverse. And this came out in regards to the wife's knowledge about the paternity of the daughter, where she may have feared that he would not hold her in high regard, okay, or high honor if he knew that she had stepped out in a relationship. I feel like he still held the wife on a certain level of honor because he was still under the impression that she had his daughter. I don't necessarily feel like he questioned it, but with the loss of control here, let me see. Popular, explosive, focus, and then law. So I'm kind of being turned in a different direction here. I feel like he did honor her for that reason, but he started to see that she was greedy, and there's a possibility that things might have become very explosive here. Like things just completely went off of a cliff once some sort of legal proceeding could have proven that she's not, or it could be that if he filed for a divorce, let's just say she was like, okay, well, you know what, I'm going to get child support. In a lot of states now, it's like in order to get child support, you got to get a paternity test. In a lot of states, that's a requirement. I don't know if it was required in the state that they lived in or in the state where they got married or whatnot. Let me clarify law, because something got out of hand. Something was explosive. He didn't see it coming. Okay, I'm not going to pick that up. So, torment in the reverse. Anxiety, bondage, depression, troubled. I feel like he knew that he was going to have to take it the legal route. Because he knew the greed of his child's mother, he was going to have to take it the legal route. So even if he was not able to get an actual paternity test to prove or to disprove her relationship to him, he still took the legal route to shift some things around to ensure that the wife's greed would not be fed with his dollar. And that came out in yesterday's message, that somebody is walking away with nothing. So I have pet. I don't know what that means. Pet. Oh, that's a cat. So he could have listened to his intuition. See, I have curiosity. That's funny. Curiosity killed the cat. Oh my God. Ooh, oh gosh. Oh goodness gracious. No. I just got a whole download from that. Malcolm started to listen to his intuition. This will be Malcolm's energy. He's the cat, curious. He wanted to know. Curiosity, once she found out that he probably filed some paperwork to try and determine the paternity of his child, what I just say, curiosity killed the cat. It's almost like him being curious about what was going on is what triggered her to like really go off the deep end, and she was willing to definitely move forward with that sacrifice. Damn. That was a whole different type. I mean, the way that message came through was like that was too clear. Yeah, see, that says suspicion. She didn't even want him to cure his suspicions. Hostility, jealousy, like, yeah, she definitely, things got real crazy once she knew that he was about to take it the legal route and was potentially going to get a paternity test. Curiosity killed the cat. That's my message for you all. Let me know what y'all think. Leave some comments below. Let me know where you want me to go with this. If there's anything that you want me to look into or other cases that you feel would be beneficial for me to look into on this channel, like, subscribe. I'll talk to y'all next time.